Welcome to Pages to Dialogues, your premier destination for insightful discussions on Christian books. Join me as we delve into the pages of thought-provoking Christian literature and explore the timeless truths and principles that can transform our lives. From classic devotionals to contemporary bestsellers, we'll engage in meaningful dialogues that will inspire, encourage, and challenge you to grow deeper in your faith. So, subscribe to Pages to Dialogues now and join the conversation. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you can stay updated on new episodes and exclusive content. Let's turn pages into conversations that matter.
Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Today we're going to be looking at a different take on success.
Oh, yeah.
So kind of moving away from, the corporate ladder and the corner office.
Mm-hmm.
And instead we're going to be diving into the world of Joyce Meyer and her book, The Pathway to Success.
Okay. Yeah, I think that'll be good contrast.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what she has to say about it.
Yeah, so before we really jump into the book,
Sure.
can you tell us a little bit about Joyce Meyer, who she is?
Well, she's a prominent practical Bible teacher.
Okay.
So she's been doing this for a while. And she's actually also a New York Times bestselling author.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So she's reached quite a wide audience.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to her ability to communicate.
Yeah, definitely.
And to connect with people on a practical level.
Right.
She's not just speaking in, abstract theological terms.
Yeah.
She's really trying to help people apply biblical principles to their everyday lives. And that comes across in her writing as well.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah.
So she's the Bible teacher and an author. What else?
Well, she also has a global television program called Enjoying Everyday Life.
Wow.
Which is broadcast in over 100 languages.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah, so she has quite a broad reach.
That's amazing. So obviously,
yeah,
very successful.
Yeah, you could say that.
But we're going to be looking at what she defines as success.
Right, and that's the really interesting thing about this book.
Yeah.
She challenges the conventional ideas about what success means.
Right, so let's...
it's not about the money, the fame.
Yeah.
The status.
The corner office.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so how does she define success then?
Well, for her, it's about aligning your life with God's will.
Okay.
Finding happiness and fulfillment in what you do, and using your gifts and talents to serve others.
Okay, so it's really about living a life of purpose.
Right, and making a positive impact on the world.
Yeah, sounds like she's more focused on internal fulfillment rather than external achievements.
Absolutely. She believes that true success comes from within.
Yeah.
And it's not about chasing after material possessions or worldly accolades.
Okay, so let's dive into some of the specifics of her message.
Sure.
How does she explain this idea of aligning your life with God's will?
Well, she uses a lot of personal anecdotes in her book.
Okay.
And one that really stands out is she talks about a time when she was doing ministry work.
Okay.
And she felt incredibly fulfilled, even though she wasn't being paid for it.
Wow.
She was doing it out of a genuine passion to serve others.
Yeah.
And that's what brought her true joy.
That's interesting. So she's not just talking about this theoretically.
Right. She's actually living it out.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her message so compelling.
Okay, so it's about finding that work that you would do even if you weren't getting paid for it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier that she didn't have an easy start in life.
Yeah, that's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about those early experiences and how they shaped her perspective on success?
Sure. So Joyce Meyer is very open about the abuse she suffered as a child.
Okay.
At the hands of her father.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it's a very difficult topic, but she doesn't shy away from it because she believes that her story can offer hope to others who have gone through similar experiences.
Right.
And it's really remarkable how she's been able to take that pain and turn it into a driving force for good.
Yeah, it sounds like she's using her experiences to connect with people on a deeper level.
Absolutely. She's not afraid to be vulnerable and to share her struggles because she knows that it can help others feel less alone.
Right. She's saying, me too, I've been there.
Exactly.
And there's a way through.
Yeah, and I think that's what makes her so relatable.
Okay, so those difficult experiences really shaped her desire to help others.
Definitely, they became a cornerstone of her ministry
and
her understanding of success.
So how did she go from having those really difficult experiences to becoming this powerhouse in the world of ministry?
Well, it all started very humbly
Right.
with a small Bible study group that she hosted in her own home.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, she didn't start out with a megachurch or a global platform. It
What?
was a very grassroots beginning.
That's interesting. So she really had to work her way up.
Yeah, and she talks a lot about the importance of God's guidance and timing in her journey.
Okay.
She believes that it's not about striving for instant success, but about taking small, faithful steps and trusting in God's plan.
Okay, so it's about being patient and trusting the process.
Exactly.
Did she face any setbacks or challenges along the way?
Oh, absolutely. She's very open about the fact that she didn't always get things right.
Okay.
She actually talks about venturing into television too early in her ministry career.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right fit for her at that point. And she learned some valuable lessons from that experience. And it ultimately helped her to grow and to refine her message.
Okay, so it sounds like she's really emphasizing the importance of learning from our mistakes and using those experiences to refine our path.
Absolutely. She's all about growth and progress.
Okay.
And she believes that setbacks are an inevitable part of the journey.
So even someone as successful as Joyce Meyer has had her share of failures and detours.
Yeah, that's right. She's not afraid to admit that.
And she's probably stronger because of those experiences.
Definitely, they've shaped her into the person she is today.
Okay, well, this is all really fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm excited to dive deeper into her message and see what else we can learn.
Me too. Let's do it.
So let's take a break, and when we come back,
Okay.
we'll continue our exploration of Joyce Meyer's The Pathway to Success. Okay, so we're back, and we're diving deeper into Joyce Meyer's The Pathway to Success.
All right, picking up where we left off.
Yeah, so, we were talking about some of those early experiences that shaped her perspective.
Yeah, that foundation.
Yeah, and, now we're going to kind of look at, what is her message? What are some of the core principles that she lays out in this book?
Okay, so one of the things that she talks about a lot is the power of our thoughts and words.
Okay, so this is kind of getting into the nitty-gritty of how to achieve success.
Right, and this is where it gets really practical.
Yeah, because, she's not just saying, think positive thoughts and everything will be great.
Exactly. She's saying that our thoughts and words have a very real impact on our lives.
Okay, so how do we actually, implement that?
So she talks about this idea of aligning our thoughts and words with God's word.
Okay.
So it's about tapping into a deeper power
Okay.
and allowing that power to transform our reality.
Okay, so it's not just about, positive thinking for the sake of positive thinking.
Right. It's about connecting with something bigger than ourselves.
Okay, so it's about having faith.
Exactly.
Okay, so how do we actually do that? How do we, shift our thoughts and our words to align with God's word?
So she gives some very practical tips. For instance, she talks about cultivating a positive mindset by consciously replacing negative thoughts with truths from Scripture.
Okay.
So it's about actively choosing to focus on what God says about us and our circumstances.
Okay, so instead of dwelling on, all the negative things that are happening.
Right, you're choosing to focus on the good, the positive, the hopeful.
Okay, so it's about kind of retraining your brain to think differently.
Exactly.
But does she give any, practical examples of how to do that?
Yeah, so she talks about, literally saying these truths out loud, declaring them over yourself and your circumstances.
Okay.
Even if you don't fully believe them yet.
Oh, interesting. So it's like you're speaking it into existence.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, I can see how that could be powerful.
It is. It's about using your words to create the reality we want to experience.
But it's not all about just, thinking positive thoughts and speaking positive words, right?
Right. She also talks about the importance of discipline and self-control.
Okay, so how does that fit in with, this whole positive thinking thing?
Well, it might seem like a contradiction,
Yeah.
but she actually sees them as complementary forces.
Okay.
She's very clear that there are no shortcuts to success.
Mm-hmm.
It requires hard work, dedication,
Right.
and the ability to delay gratification.
Okay.
But those qualities are amplified when they're rooted in a deeper sense of purpose.
Right, so it's not just about grinding it out.
Right. It's about finding that inner motivation that comes from knowing you're on the right path.
Right.
And then applying discipline and effort to stay on course.
Yeah, so it's like having that why.
Exactly.
That's driving you.
And she also balances this emphasis on hard work with the importance of rest and enjoyment.
Oh, okay, that's good.
She doesn't advocate for burning yourself out in pursuit of success.
Right.
It's about living a life that's both purposeful and fulfilling.
Okay, so it's about finding that balance.
Yes.
Between working hard and also taking care of yourself.
Exactly, and enjoying the journey.
Yeah, I know she talks a lot about the importance of treating people well. So how does that tie into her overall message of success?
Well, she sees it as both a moral imperative and a strategic advantage.
Yep.
She's a strong advocate for creating a work environment that values people, fosters their growth, and rewards their contributions.
So it's about creating a win-win situation.
Exactly.
Where both the company and the employees thrive.
Right. And she believes that when employees feel valued and respected, they're more likely to be loyal, productive, and committed to the company's success.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And it all circles back to that idea of aligning your life with a greater purpose, something bigger than yourself.
Okay, so it's not just about achieving your own personal goals.
Right. It's about making a positive impact on the world around you.
And speaking of making a positive impact on the world,
Yeah.
Joyce Meyer Ministries is a pretty extensive organization.
Yeah, it really is.
It goes far beyond just her books and her television program.
Right. They have a missions arm called Hand of Hope, and they do incredible work all over the globe.
Okay, like what kind of work?
So they provide meals, they build freshwater wells, they offer medical care.
That's amazing.
They even work to rescue women and children from human trafficking.
Wow, that's incredible. So she's really putting her money where her mouth is.
Yeah, she's not just talking about helping others, she's actually doing it.
Yeah.
And on a global scale.
That's amazing.
It's very impressive.
Okay, so obviously, she's walking the talk.
Yeah, you could say that.
But, for someone who maybe isn't, a world-renowned Bible teacher.
Right.
How can we apply these principles to our own lives?
Well, I think one of the key takeaways from her message is that success is not a one-size-fits-all concept. It's not about achieving some external standard that society sets for us.
Right.
It's about aligning our lives with God's purpose for us individually.
Right. So it's about finding your own unique path.
Exactly.
And using your own unique gifts and talents to make a difference in the world.
Right. And I think that's really empowering.
Yeah, definitely.
Because it means that success is available to anyone.
Okay, so it's not just for, the elite few.
No, not at all. It's for everyone.
It's about partnering with God.
Yeah.
And tapping into his grace and his power to achieve what he's called us to do.
Okay, well, this is all very inspiring.
It is.
I'm excited to hear more about how we can actually put these principles into practice.
Yeah, me too. Let's keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she really emphasizes that, it's about finding a sustainable rhythm that supports both your well-being and your pursuit of success.
Right, because you can't really pour from an empty cup.
Exactly.
If you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to be able to, be effective in any area of your life.
Right, and she sees this as an act of worship.
Oh, okay.
Caring for our physical health is a way of honoring God with our bodies.
Okay, so it's not just about, looking good or feeling good.
Right, it's about stewardship.
Okay. It's about taking care of the gift that God has given us.
Right, and allowing our bodies to function at their best.
Exactly, so we can fulfill our purpose.
And, speaking of purpose, she also talks about the importance of, taking time for spiritual renewal.
Yes. That's right.
So, it's not just about our physical health.
Right. It's about nurturing our souls.
Okay.
Spending time in prayer, reading the Bible, engaging in activities that bring us closer to God.
Right. So it's about, having that balance between, taking care of ourselves physically.
Right.
And also nurturing our spiritual lives.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that we're multifaceted beings with physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual needs.
Right. And we have to create a lifestyle that, addresses all of those areas.
Absolutely. It's about holistic well-being.
Okay. So, that sounds great in theory.
Sure.
But, how do we actually find the time and the energy to do all of this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, she talks about the importance of mentorship.
Okay. So finding someone who can help you along the way.
Exactly. Having someone who can provide guidance, support, and accountability.
Right. Because it can be really overwhelming.
It can.
To try to do it all on your own.
Absolutely. And, she believes that having a mentor can make a huge difference.
Okay. But, finding the right mentor can be a challenge.
It can. Yeah.
So how do you even go about, finding someone who's a good fit for you?
So she recommends looking for someone who has achieved the kind of success that you're striving for. Oh. Someone who embodies the values and character qualities that you admire.
Okay, so someone you look up to.
Exactly.
Who's maybe a few steps ahead of you on the journey.
Right. And it's important to find someone who's willing to invest time in you, who will listen to you, challenge you, and provide honest feedback.
Right. So it's not just about, having someone who will tell you what you want to hear.
No, it's about having someone who will push you to grow.
Okay.
and to become the best version of yourself.
But, how do you even approach someone like that?
Yeah, that can be intimidating.
Hey, Pam.
But she encourages people to just be bold.
Okay.
Express your admiration for their work.
Hmm.
Share your aspirations.
Okay.
And be specific about what you're hoping to gain from the relationship.
Okay, so, don't be afraid to reach out.
Exactly. You never know unless you ask.
Right.
And be persistent. Sometimes it takes time to build a relationship and to earn someone's trust.
Right. So, don't give up if you don't hear back right away.
Exactly.
Well, I think this has been a really insightful deep dive into Joyce Meyer's The Pathway to Success.
Yeah, I agree.
We've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
And I think her message is really empowering.
It is. She offers a very practical and hopeful approach to achieving success.
Yeah, and it's not about, striving for some unattainable standard of perfection.
Right. It's about aligning our lives with God's purpose for us.
Right.
And becoming the best versions of ourselves that we can be.
And using our gifts and talents to make a positive impact on the world.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up today,
Yeah.
I just want to encourage everyone listening
Please.
to really reflect on what we've talked about today.
Yeah.
And to think about how you can apply these principles to your own life.
Because true success is within reach.
Yeah.
It's not some elusive dream.
Yeah, it's about making those small, faithful steps every day.
Exactly, and trusting that God will guide you along the way.
And remembering that you don't have to do it alone.
Absolutely. You have a community of support.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you have God,
Right.
who is always with you and who will never leave you nor forsake you.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure.
And we hope you'll tune in again next time
We'll see you then.
for another deep dive.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Pages to Dialogues. We hope you enjoyed our discussion and found valuable insights to apply to your life. If you did, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel, Pages to Dialogues, for more thought-provoking dialogues on Christian books. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode. We'd love to hear your thoughts and feedback on this episode. Please leave a comment below and let's continue the conversation. If you know someone who would benefit from our discussions, please share this episode with them. Your support means the world to us. Finally, if you appreciated this episode, please give us a thumbs up and a like. It helps us reach more people and continue creating content that inspires and uplifts. Thanks again for listening, and we look forward to engaging with you on our next episode of Pages to Dialogues.